Okay, this is a derivatives session. This is one of the strongest financial tool of the world. If I say derivatives, there is a no limit. If we start from say rags and go to the most complex derivatives of the world, I tell you, derivatives, if I talk about the size of the derivative, I am just taking some time that all other students can also join in the meantime, because just at the last moment the address is being changed, and most of the students must be waiting over there in the last address. Slowly they will come to this within next 4 5 minutes. uh, Derivatives are one of the strongest financial tool. When I am saying that, because the total size of the derivative market is so large. If I say, if the economy of the world is 78 trillion US dollar, the size of the derivative market is 780 trillion, more than 10 times of the total world economy. So why the Warren Buffett used to say that this is can be fatal. This can be fatal. Just say hello. Yeah. Can I call you in hours time? Okay, thank you. All right. Sorry for the disturbance. Now this presentation, this is being designed and developed by the on the request of Dalal Street SRCC. That is the one of the best colleges of Delhi University. They are famous for finance and the commerce. I appreciate their efforts. Now I will try to make it as simple as possible. I will try to make the foundation of the derivatives. It's very easy to say that, okay, use butterfly spread or bull spread or bear spread, or even the complex derivative strategies. It's not that. Most important is most important is that if we can really sense what the derivative is, then we can really have an edge over our trading system. All right, so let's move and start. What are the derivatives? Derivatives are the instruments in the form of contracts that derives its value from the underlying asset. If I say the underlying assets, what is the underlying asset then? Underlying assets are the physical or the financial assets to which a holders of the mentioned assets have the claim on it. This is my asset. This is my paper. And in easy words, an instrument which can be sold or purchased comes under the category of the underlying asset. And it is not going to limit over here. Or an instrument which influence the real assets which can be sold or bought are called the risk management products, like a weather derivatives, or rainfall derivatives, snowfall derivatives. These all comes under. You think about anything, that all comes under the derivatives. Even the football matches, how much the snow will fall on the roof of the European countries. So this all, if I talk about the derivatives, I told this is the one of the biggest size of the world. So once again I am repeating, derivatives are the instruments in the form of the contracts that derives its value from the underlying assets, and underlying assets which can be sold and purchased, or those assets which can be sold and purchased are be supported by the other variable. That other variable also can come under the derivatives. So this is the derivative. What all the possible derivative assets can be in financial assets? It can be equity, it can be debt, it can be non-financial assets like agriculture, non-agriculture products. If I talk about the equity, then index, we talk Nifty, Sensex, Dow, that's of America, Nasdaq of America, and then DAX of Germany, CAC of France, and then they are the more Nikkei of Japan. We can take like that index which represent the complete economy of the country. And then there can be the individual stocks like Wipro, Infosys, Tata Motor, Amazon, Microsoft, Disney, and so on. So those all are tradable in the derivative markets. Then next is the debt. Debts are the interest rate debts instrument like LIBOR. LIBOR is what? Lender interbanking offer rate, and the treasury bills, and then the credits which are like bonds and the receivable. Now what has happened when the Trump took the charge of American country, United States of America, he became the president. At that time, the yield of bond of about 10 years paper was somewhere near to 1.2. From there it moved to yield of 3, and from 3 today it is somewhere near to 0.6. You look at, we say that debt instruments are safer instruments compared to the equity, but you look at the trillions of rupees were being lost and the made in that all movement. And otherwise, then agriculture or cereal, pulses, vegetable, and many masalas like turmeric or so, which are being tradable on the NCDX. And then there are the non-agriculture products like metals, bullions like gold and silver. I tell you, yesterday there was a presentation of MCX. They are coming out a index based on gold and silver. 70% will be the gold, 30% will be the silver. Clubbed together, they are coming out with a contract size of about 7 lakhs, which will be tradable. Right now, till now, what it is, how many we have to play in the gold, or we have to play in the gold, or we have to play in the silver separately. But those are the big and the small contract. But that will be customized. That will be a standard contract of 7 lakh rupees or so, right? And then that is also will be available very soon. Dairy products, butter, migraine, etc., which are not yet much tradable in India, but on the world markets we can see that. Animal products, which are again not much tradable in India, but yes, they are in world markets like egg, lamb or so. Yes, energy products, crude oil, I think every person is trading on the crude oil. Crude oil or the natural gases, they are most popular in India, but crude oil, that is a much tradable. There was a big amount was being gained. Those who shorted in the at the time of clearing of the crude oil, they made a huge money in crude oil trading. Then other assets are all the currencies. Currencies are one of the biggest. Currencies are the biggest volume driver, like USD, INR, or GBP, USD, or GBP, Euro USD. These are the very popular instruments, currency instrument. Then the weather instruments are very popular, and even in MCX, very soon the weather instrument will be introduced in another 6 months or so. All right, and then the emissions, then the carbon credit points, which are still not in India, but they are very popular in other world markets. So these are the few underlying assets which I talked about. Derivatives comes in contracts having maturity or the expiration date. There is a contract is not all available for the whole life. It will be for 1 month, 1 week, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 12 months. It on different interval, different contracts are available, and there are the different size also. That is a predefined size. Nifty 50 future contract is available in the 75 units. You cannot trade in 50 or 100. That is tradable in the unit of 75. Bank Nifty contract is available in the 20, and the Reliance Industry is of 505 quantity per contract. We have to buy or sell in the multiplication of 505 only. All the contracts of the stocks expire on the last Thursday of the month. It's a monthly contract. For 2 months contract, that will be expired after 2 months, the last Thursday of the month. This is a best buyer seller are being displayed over here. That is the price of the this is available best 5 buy and sell of the Reliance. Now attributes of the derivatives. First, it is it is leverage instrument. First, it is leverage instrument. Second, this is a vehicle of transferring the risk. Third is mechanism of speculation, arbitrage, hedging, maximum return and the maximum return and the minimize the risk, which I am talking about the options. Settlement the obligation at a future date. Maturity period can be cash and delivery settled depending upon the derivative, forward or the future. Let's talk about the leverage. What's the derivative? Derivative is the four product: forward, future, option and the swap. When I talk about the future forward contracts are the trades which are being executed between the two parties. All the banking transactions are the forward contract, that is between the two, client and the bank. All like if Reliance Retail or Big Bazaar or like Nestle, they have the contract with the farmers. That is also forward contract. They said whatever the harvest or the crop will be, they will buy that at this specific price of this quality at this on this particular date. All right, so this is defined in the forward. They settle the price today, settle the quantity today, which is executed on the day when the crop is ready. So those are the forward contracts. Future contracts are more after the future contracts are introduced. All the keenest mind of the words are being attracted to it. How it has happened so? Because it is such, because of first thing is because of the technology. Now it is a globally, you can trade anywhere. Even you can trade right now from your laptop to the Goldman Sachs counter or to the Warren Buffett's counter or anybody, any big player. You can contact to it through the Bloomberg or the other services which are being provided to you. And second thing is surveillance and risk management is so sharp, so nice and so perfectly it is being done, so that then we are well sure that if we will make profit, we will get that profit. Guarantee of that. And such a reforms are being done in the future market and still the scope is so high, then that is going to really help you out. Okay, there is a one, give me the question. Okay, there is a one question, forward enable hedging. Okay, this is providing you the hedging of risk if the crop is very high. At that time the prices of the crop will tank, price will go down. Then it is predefined that this is the rate. This is a safety not only for the farmers but to the buyers also. That is a very good. This was the first forward contracts were introduced just for the one reason. That reason was only one, that hedging of the unforeseen circumstances of the future. All right, but now in future, what I tell you, what the hedging instrument which will be provided to you, you will be get excited, you will enter into the world of the future markets. All right, so when I talk about so what is the leveraging? Leveraging is power, force, weight. It enhance your the power. Leveraging means using debts, others' money. Leveraging means you have X amount and you are taking position of 10x or more. You are overexposed. You know safely you can drive, say, the car at the speed of 80 km an hour, but you are driving at the speed of 160 km an hour. Yes, okay, you are asking derivative price fluctuate more than that of underlying assets. It is not so, only because you are exposed in a big way, in a big manner. In 10 times, 20 times you have the exposure, so that give you the sense of more volatility. Volatility is same. If you are having the position in the spot market, that is helping you out. That is helping you out to have the sense of lower volatility, but you have the overexposure. You have the taken a borrowed. You are playing on a borrowed money. That gives you the more sense of volatility. That is the only difference. Otherwise, if the underlying asset will move 10%, then even your future will also move 10%. But only you are additionally exposed, so that gives you the sense of volatility, much higher volatility. All right. So leveraging means excitement, right? So leveraging means excitement. Suppose let's take one example. If you bought Reliance Industries on 15th of June at rupees 1582. Now if the price on 23rd of June moved to 1800, now you have 1 lakh rupees on which date? On 15th of June. If you are buying your position in the cash market, how many shares you can buy? 63 shares. And on 23rd of June the price has moved to 1800. How much your profit will be? 13,734. It means you will be gaining 13.73% profit. Now if you take one contract of Reliance, total size of the contract is 505, that is the minimum quantity you can take. 505 multiply by one lot 505 into 1582, that comes somewhere near to 8 lakh rupees contract. But here you are paying only 12% margin, which is 1 lakh rupees. Yeah, 8 lakh ka 1%. But now the quantity in cash delivery you could buy only 63 shares. How many shares you are buying now? 505 shares. Now what would be your profit when the price reaches to 1800? Your profit would be 1,10,090. It means the profit is now 110%, 8 times of your delivery transaction. So why you feel so much volatility in the future market? But take the other way. If the price would have not gone to 1800 and it dropped to 1408, what would be your loss? You would have lost about 88% of your capital. You would have been left with 12,000 rupees. But if you have taken a delivery of 63 quantity only, your loss would be 11% only. You would be still having 89,000 rupees. So that is the difference. It is a over leveraged product. I am starting with first note. That first note is, should I trade in derivative market or not? I want your answer. Tell me, should I trade in derivative market or not? Just type yes or no in the box, chat box, yes or no. Now I have told you what is the risk and what is the reward. It is a higher the risk, higher the reward. You will like to trade in derivative market or not? Just type yes or no. I want your participation. Yes or no? Okay, you have asked what is the difference between forward and future market. Future markets are all regulated markets. They are on the exchanges. Forward market has a transaction between the two. Okay, there is a one very good answer. If you have fund to handle future, it is best. For small investor, it is very dangerous. Okay, let's come out with a solution. What solution is? Let's make some filters. If you know the subject, you should use derivative. Otherwise, it's very easy to lose in the derivative market. So I am saying, if you know the subject, so what you should know in the derivative markets? You should know the option pricing, first thing, how the options are being priced, when the volatility risk will be higher, the premium goes automatically higher. For an example, if we are in Delhi right now, and if we have to take the insurance against our life, what would be the premium? Maybe 1000 against 10 lakh rupees. But if you go to the Syria, where the risk is very high, what would be the premium? Premium will be like maybe the 20,000, 30,000, 40,000 for the same life. Here you are paying in Delhi only 1000 rupees, but in Syria you might be paying 30,000 to 50,000 or 10,000 to 20,000 rupees. As the risk increase, as the volatility increase, the premium also do increase. That the first thing you should understand the option pricing. Second thing is you should understand the Greeks. Greeks are the delta, gamma, theta and the vega. Option strategies, that also you should know. Most of the strategies work on a view. You should have a view. Either markets are bullish or the bearish. Markets are the trendy or the sideways. If they are the trendy, in which way? So if you, or price will fluctuate in a range or not. If you are aware about it, that prices are bullish or bearish or they are in a sideways, then only you will be able to use the option strategy. Otherwise it will be very difficult to apply any derivative strategy. Then next is the financial engineering. Once you have a big portfolio, I am not talking about 1 lot, 2 lot, 3 lots, but once you have a very big portfolio, you should engineer your strategy in that way that if the price moves up or the down, you end up in earning some good amount of percentage. May not be big amount, but at least some amount, say 3%, 2% at least you will get out of it. The price moves either way, up or the down. So that is also very important. Okay, now the question is how we get the view. I am saying that we can use the derivative strategies only by having a view. How we can get the view? We can get the view by understanding the technical analysis. Technical analysis will help you how to understand markets are either trendy or the sideways. If they are trendy, so they are bullish or the bearish. That you will come to know by analyzing your technical analysis charts. Then you can, after you learn the technical analysis, then you should work on the next thing is derivatives. Then you will be able to get the maximum out of the technology of the derivatives. Again back to it. Should I trade in derivative or not? Okay, this is a simple chart which is showing the payouts. If you have taken a bullish position at 1580, if the price will drop, your position will be in loss, and as deep it will fall, your losses will increase. As it will starts moving up, your profit will starts increasing. So this is a flow chart of a buying position. This is a flow chart of buying position. If you have a selling position, you will make profit only when the price will drop. If the market price will fall, then you will be benefited. When it will go up, you will be at loss. In a picture, if you have to look, you can look like this. This is a buy position chart and this is sell position chart. Again I am asking my question, should I trade in derivative market or not? Good news is derivative market is for everyone. Those who are the speculators. आज मेरा 50,000 रुपया जाता है तो जाए, आज मेरा 50,000 रुपया आना चाहिए या 1 लाख आना चाहिए. High risk traders, speculators, yes, it is for them. Those who are saying no, I cannot take the risk, mitigate my risk, I am a very low risk trader, then the spreads are there. You can use the bull spread, bear spread, or you can use the calendar spread, you can use the butterfly, etc. So then there is a place for low risk traders also. Then there are the position for the arbitrator also. Then there is a no risk trade, or risk reward is like 1:90 or 7 to 93, 1:99 or 7 to 93. Risk reward is so so high, so favorable, then there is almost no risk trade. Then there are the arbitrage. I know almost more than 1 lakh people, those who are the arbitrager, and they are taking position, like they are using conversion diversion, might not be producing much good return, maybe 8%, 9%. They are box spread or butterflies, they are generating little higher than that, and they are the most strategies they are using and making profits. And another one is transferring the risk from a business person to a speculator, that is hedging. So good news is that is for all the players. It is a speculator or a low risk trader or arbitrager or those who are the business people and want to hedge their position. I am talking so much of risk. What is the risk? If I take the meaning of the risk is danger, jeopardy, peril, hazard, menace, threat. But there is a one more word, possibility. So the risk is equal to danger plus the possibility or the opportunity. Alright, so this is a risk is equal to danger plus possibility or the opportunity. Go to the Wikipedia, they will tell you what is the risk, definition of the risk. They says intentional interaction with uncertainty. Intentional interaction with the uncertainty. It is not that I am going to take the risk for the purpose of taking the risk only. Intentional interaction with the uncertainty. I am ready to take. I know there is a risk, even then I am going to take that challenge. Why we take the challenge? We all want to make high returns, and the high returns are exposed to the danger of losing. So come the financial world, the hurdle rate. The hurdle rate reflects the riskiness of the investment. Hurdle rate is equal to risk-free interest rate plus the premium for the riskier assets. Just 3 months back, Vodafone Idea was a very risky asset at 3 rupees. That 3 rupees also would have gone, but from 3 it has given you rewarded about 3, 4, 5 times return in few months, 2 months. So think about it. So whenever I am taking any riskier position, I will demand for the higher premium. So what in nutshell I say, higher the risk, there is a higher demand for the return. Now the two questions which you need to be addressed: how to mitigate the risk, how to calculate the risk. There are the two things. How to mitigate the risk. Wonderful thing is diversification is the best solution. This is not we all are studying in the colleges. The diversification is the best solution. What is the logic or the concept work at the back of the diversification? What are the set of laws? What are the codes which works under the just behind the diversification? First thing is zero sum game. You know, if you are into a football match, you are into a badminton, you are in a lawn tennis, you are in a table tennis, there is a win of one party and lose of a second party. If A will win 1 point, then B will automatically lose 1 point. It's a zero sum game. If A is winning 10 points, the counterparty will definitely lose 10 points only. That is a zero sum game. One will win and the second will lose. So what the economy tell us about is that this is an economy where the money will remain here only. It will not go anywhere. It may be a benefit of one industry, one sector or one company that will be on the cost of another sector, another company or another industry. That is a zero sum game, and the options are like that only. If there will be a profit of about 10 crore rupees or 10 trillion dollars, then there will be a loss of 10 trillion dollars. There will be no gap between the two. Then there is a zero sum game. Second thing is, it is not a zero sum game. If it is an athletic competition, if a runner, if one is increasing the speed, it is not going to decrease the performance of the second athlete. Even that will motivate to the second athlete to run faster. So when the economy is booming, growing, then all are being benefited out of it. And when the economy is slowing down, then all will suffer the dent on it. So then there is a that is programmed on the two concepts, zero sum game and not a zero sum game. Altogether, both can be, altogether can really make the sense of the diversification. Now, if I talk about Nifty as a diversified portfolio, they are the exporter as well the importers. If the currency price, say domestic currency price will appreciate, the foreign currency will be depreciated. All right. Say if the domestic currency will be, appreciated, all the importers will be benefited and the exporters will be hit badly. All right. So once the foreign currency will appreciate it, the exporter will be benefited and the importers will be at the risk. So the impact of the currency will be neutralized when you have a portfolio where the export oriented companies and import oriented companies both are over there. All right. So this is a perfect hedge of 50 stocks, where the export oriented companies are like all IT companies, most of their stuffs they export. Even the pharma companies, they do also exports, and some of the even auto companies have started, most of they are selling in domestically only, but they have started exporting also. And next, then they are the importers, all the company which are based on crude oil. Most of the crude is being imported from the foreign. So that way we can understand the benefit of a company which is at the cost of the another company. Second thing is highly leveraged and the cash rich companies. Interest rate is going to impact. When the interest rate is going down drastically, what it is going to impact to the cash rich companies, those who are sitting on a cash. But that is going to benefit those who have borrowed huge money. Those are highly leveraged companies. That is going to benefit to them. So that is the again a balanced portfolio. We have the highly leveraged companies like Tata Motors, very highly leveraged company. If the cash rich company I talk about, the Nestle is the cash rich company, or all the IT companies like Infosys, Wipro or TCS, they are the cash rich companies. But there are the many companies, most of the metal companies, those who have borrowed a huge amount of money. So then they balance it out. Whenever the interest rate will fall or increase, that is also going to balance the impact of the interest on that. Then again, if we talk about the commodity producers and the raw material users, that is also going to impact. If the commodity producer, if the commodity price will go up, they will be benefited. But that will be a really dent to the company, those who are using the raw material of that commodity. Once the prices of commodity will fall, that will be really add on the profit to the companies, those who are using this commodity as a raw material, but that is going to dent to the producer of the commodity. So that all is balanced out. When I'm talking about the Nifty is a well diversified portfolio. Growth stocks and the mature stocks. When the market will fall, market will be in a recession, all the matured company will keep paying you the dividend, because they don't have any extra venue to park their money. Whatever the profit is, that they are going to pay you as a dividend. So that is a matured company. It is really going to help you out in the recessions. But when there will be a boom time, the matured company will be at the maximum growth. They will really reward you like anything. So again, there are the many companies in the Nifty stock, those who are the growth oriented, and many those who are reached to the matured level. So clubbed together are going to really make a difference to high beta and low beta stocks. And then above all, there is a close look and tracking of the performance. I tell you, this is one of the open secret to all. This secret is, there is a tracking of due diligence of the portfolio of that Nifty. What is that portfolio tracking is? Whenever any company which is not performing is kicked out from the portfolio, and whenever that company is performing, that is being added to the Nifty. So overall, they try to keep Nifty as a most performing stocks, a bunch of most performing stocks. Now again, attribute of derivative. I talked about the leveraging and I talked about how to control the leveraging also. Now vehicle of transferring the risk. Till now I was talking to you, now it is your turn. I am going to, okay, before I ask you a question, then there are some future terminology we will talk about. There is a spot price. Spot price is the price of the underlying asset, the price at which an asset trade in the spot market where you are taking the delivery, right? And second is the future market, the price at which the future contract trades in the future market. Future markets like future and option market, which is like at NSE or the Dow and the all London Stock Exchange or US New York Stock Exchange, etc. The contract cycle, the period over which a contract trades, it's a 1 month contract, 2 months contract, 3 months contract, expiry date. And then the lastly, contract size that I have already talked about you. The payment of margin, if you are buying or the selling, you have to pay the margin. Settlement mechanism, mark to mark. Every day there will be a fluctuation in the price. It will be favorable position when you have taken a buy position and the price move up, you will be given the credit to your account. Whenever the price will move against your position, if there is a loss in your account, you have to offset by paying that loss to the exchange on daily basis. Mark to mark will be calculated on the daily. And in future market there is a unlimited profit and loss, you can say, but loss is limited to zero. The price cannot fall below the zero. But yes, we can say unlimited profit and loss. And it is all trades are being executed in the secondary market, used for hedging, speculation and the arbitrage. This is the first question for you. An importer of pulses buy 1000 tons of chickpeas at the price of 2000 per ton. On the day of signing the contract, USD INR spot price was 73. Importer was not sure about the INR movement compared to USD in future. Today the price is 73, but he at the time of signing the contract, but he has to pay the amount against their delivery will be after 2 months. So he decided to hedge 50% of the total exposure using currency future and contracted a rate of 73.50 using 2-month future contract. When spot price was 73, future price rate was 73.50. He has gone and bought a contract equivalent to 2 million US dollar. His total contract size is, his total import is of 2000 per ton into 1000 ton. That reaches to 2 million. So he has taken a contract of 2 million, but he has not taken, he has taken a hedge position of 50%. So he has taken a position of $1 million and of 2 months contract. In the next 2 months, INR depreciated to 74.50 at the time of making import payment. On the day of making import payment, the future contract was 74.70. What was the effective USD INR for the importer and what it has been had he hedged the full exposure? Now you have to give the 3 answers. What would be the loss? If he has completely hedged, what would be the loss or the profit? He has hedged by 50%, or he has not hedged even a single contract. What would be the profit? Will you do it? All students, please try to do it. ओके आप चाह रहे मैं हिंदी में भी बात करूं तो मैं हिंदी में ही बात कर सकता हूं और दैट विल बी आई विल बी आल्सो कंफर्टेबल, देयर इज़ नो इशू अबाउट इट। मैं सभी से बोल रहा हूं, ये एक कॉन्ट्रैक्ट है, एक इम्पोर्टर ने एक साइन किया कॉन्ट्रैक्ट $73 पर, और जब उसको पेमेंट करनी थी 2 महीने बाद तो उसका प्राइस 74.50 हो गया डॉलर का, उसको ₹1.5 अधिक देना पड़ रहा है। लेकिन उसने फ्यूचर मार्केट में जाकर अपनी पोजीशन को हेज कर लिया था, कॉन्ट्रैक्ट खरीद लिया था 73.50। वो बाय करेगा या सेल करेगा, उसको डॉलर आगे पे करने हैं 2 महीने बाद, तो व्हाट ही विल डू, ही विल बाय द कॉन्ट्रैक्ट 73.50 में। उसने फ्यूचर कॉन्ट्रैक्ट ले लिया, जिस दिन उसको पेमेंट करनी है, स्पॉट में भाव है 7450 और जिस दिन उस दिन फ्यूचर का जो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट है उसकी कीमत है 7450, उसको कितना घाटा या कितना नफा हुआ ये आप मुझे बताएं प्लीज। यस, अगर उसको आगे पेमेंट करनी है तो वो बाई ही करेगा। ओके, अभी इसको हम कैलकुलेट कर लेते हैं। अगर स्पॉट प्राइस में ₹1.5 का डिफरेंस है, वो तीनों कंडीशन में ₹1.5 का डिफरेंस ही रहेगा। देयर विल बी ए लॉस ऑफ 1.5 रुपी। अगर उसने उसको पूरी तरह से हेज कर लिया, उसने फ्यूचर में जाकर $2 मिलियन के कॉन्ट्रैक्ट खरीद लिए थे, तो उसको वहां पे कितना बेनिफिट हुआ? ₹1.20 का। अगर उसने पूरा हेज कर दिया तो उसको लॉस सिर्फ 30 पैसे का है पर डॉलर। उसको 73 की जगह 73.30 पे करना पड़ा। और अगर उसने कुछ भी हेज नहीं किया तो उसको पूरा ₹1.5 का लॉस है। और अगर 50% का हेज किया तो उसको लॉस कितना है? जहां पे उसको फ्यूचर में ₹1.5 का प्रॉफिट मिल रहा था, उसको आधा कर लें तो आपको 60 पैसे का प्रॉफिट हुआ। ₹1.5 माइनस 60 पैसा, टोटल उसको 90 पैसे पर डॉलर का लॉस है। अगर 50% उसने पोजीशन हेज की है तो उसको 50% तो 90 पैसे का लॉस है। अगर पूरी पोजीशन उसने हेज कर दिया तो 30 पैसे का लॉस है। अगर कुछ भी हेज नहीं किया तो उसको ₹1.5 का लॉस है। ऑल राइट, सो वी हैव टॉक्ड अबाउट द व्हीकल ऑफ ट्रांसफरिंग द रिस्क। एक बिजनेस मैन ने अपना रिस्क ट्रांसफर कर दिया टू स्पेकुलेटर। अब आगे वो बढ़े या गिरे उसको कोई वरी नहीं है। आज उसने 73 पे कॉन्ट्रैक्ट लिया, वो 73.50 पे ही उसने सेटल कर दिया। ऑल राइट, ये किसी को कुछ क्वेश्चन पूछना है इसमें? Okay, now let's go on next slide. Third slide, maximize the return and minimize the risk. That I am talking about the options, where options you can use Black-Scholes formula and binomial tree pricing method, which are now automatically available in many websites where you can go and visit and take the advantage of it. Now there is a guidelines by W.D. Gann on how to play on options, how to make profits trading in puts and calls. We had talked about it, but in next few lessons, if we will organize that online lesson like this, then we will be able to get it done. Financial options are an insurance. There is a cost to trade the options. It is not free. Like you can play on the future market or spot market. There is a linear payout. There is a complex payout. In options, there is a cost to trade. What that cost is, that is the premium to get your trade insured. Like you get your insurance for mediclaim or car insurance, in the same way you can take the insurance against your trade. If your trade is in your desired direction, all profits are yours. If you thought the market will move up, if it has gone up, all profits are yours. But if not, if the market will fall, need not to pay any loss except the premium paid. Is not it very interesting? Really excite. Whenever there will be profit, you will be rewarded, and whenever there will be a loss, you need not to pay any amount. Now tell you one more fact, 80 to 85% of the option contracts expires worthless. I'm not talking about two things. You can multiply your assets or your portfolio many times, or there is a possibility of wipe out of your portfolio also. Because I telling you 80 to 85% of the option contracts expire worthless. Check on the expiry date, last Thursday of the month, or on weekly expiry you check on the last Thursday at 3:30 on the month. money move here in options, money move from A to B or vice versa. Zero sum game. Money will not go anywhere. It will keep shifting the pocket from A to B and B to A. What is the definition of options? A financial option is a financial contract. It is a financial contract, also defined as a derivative which draw its value on a set of underlying variable or variables, giving the buyer the right. I can buy if the price will move up or the down, but not the obligation. But loss is not mine. To buy or sell the underlying asset at a specific price. Specific price is strike rate and specific date is the expiry. Alright, and underlying assets is like Reliance or we have talked about it. Why option? Why you should use the options? With option it is the possible to trade profitably in rising, falling or even the sideways market. You can make a strategy for the sideways market as well as a trendy market or rising market or the falling market. Trader or investor can speculate on price movement, provide insurance against a fall in the price of an asset. If you have a buy position and tomorrow it opens 500 to 6,600 points down tomorrow, but your stop loss may not work there, but your options can really save you in that overnight transactions. Make short-term adjustments to the composition of your portfolio exposure and hence your portfolio return. How it happens? If the market is moving up and I am going to take the buy with a very small amount, I can gain a huge profits. Instead of Reliance, I had taken a future of 1 lakh. If I would have taken a say options at the strike price of 1,580, that would have of 1 lakh rupees, that would have yielded me profit of more than 4 to 5 lakh rupees. Alright, so the options really can reward us in a better manner. Options trade like the stocks. Options are actively traded in the listed market just like stocks. You can buy, sell at any time. Options can be bought and sold just like any other security. Options can be traded on brokers platform like stocks. Alright, this was a brief review about the options. Options are of two types, call option and the put option. A call option is an agreement that gives an investor the right but not the obligation to buy a stock. If you think the market is bullish, you can buy the call. A stock, bond or commodity or other instrument at a specified price within a specific time period. Call options give the right to a call in or buy an asset. Put option is an agreement that gives an investor the right but not the obligation to sell a stock, bond, commodity or other instrument at a specific price within a specific time period. Put option gives the right to sell, put or sell an assets. Excuse me, any question? Any question? Any question in chat? Okay, now this is a call. This is at the ending of the Nifty call and puts. Different strike price are been given: 10,300, 10,350, 10,400. Okay, I am showing you this is a picture from the market where you will be able to get an idea. In Bank Nifty, the contract size is 20 only right now. That is 20 for last a very long period, about more than a year or so. Alright, so this is a picture. Here the strike price is given and then on the left side the call prices are being given. and on the right side put prices are being given. Say to spot prices somewhere near to 10,350. You can see bid ask is for call is 127.65, 128.95. For the put it is available 129.20 and 132. Suppose my assumption is price will move up from here. So what I can do, as I buy the stock or as I buy the Nifty, I can buy the okay, for July it is 25 for the okay, it is 25 for the next week. Okay, let's go with this example and then we will go on live and we will update them. Suppose this is available for one week or 1 month contract. If I think the price will move up, I will do simply buy strike price of 10,350 for 130 rupees premium approx. I have taken a rounded it off. The price is available for 128, 129, 130 is the premium, and then now the price moves to 10,600. Your profit will be 10,650 minus 10,350 is equal to 300. So your gross profit will be 300 minus the premium you have paid, that is 130. So your net profit will be 270. Now the price moved to 9,900. Say 10,350 minus 9,900, your loss is 450. But you don't have to pay any loss because you have taken a right. You have not bought, you have taken a right. So you don't have any obligation toward the loss. You don't have to pay. If the market, you have a bought position and market is falling, even it fall by 450 points, you need not to pay a single rupee. Your loss will be limited to the premium you have paid of 130 rupees. That is the advantage. Then you are sure well in advance that your loss cannot be more than 130 points. Suppose you think, your observation is, your view is that market will fall from here. So then what you will do, instead of call, you will buy the put. Put is available for 129 to 132. Oh, so if you buy say for 128 rupees or 130 rupees, you have paid a premium. Now the price fall to 9,900. So what it would be? What will be your profit? 10,350 minus 9,900. You remember now you have the right of selling. If the price will fall, your profit is 450 gross profit minus the premium paid 128 will be equal to 322 net profit to you. But if the price move up to 11, say 10,000, sorry, it is being written 11,050, it is 10,650. The price move up by 300 point, your loss will be 300. But you don't have to pay this loss because you have only bought a right to sell. You have not sold, so you don't have any obligation. Your loss will be limited to 128 points. The premium which you have paid, that will be limited to that only. What the commonly used option strategies are? Calendar spread. Best strategy to make at least 20 to 30% return per annum or even more if you are using it wisely. When I am saying wisely, when market is very volatile, don't use it. When market are sideways or they are into dual trend, you can use the calendar spread and can benefit out of it. I will explain this calendar spread in next lecture, definitely. And next are the butterfly spread, ratio spread, straddle, strangle, strips and straps, bulls and bear spread, covered call, protected put, and condor. We will talk about these all in the next sessions, next classes. Then there are the advanced and exotic option strategies also, that are compound options, barrier option, binary option. Barrier option is like you will be buying option only when there will be a breakout. You are not, but you will put your order well in advance. Whenever my market is moving in a sideways movement, whenever there will be a breakout, then your option will be activated. If it will be give breakout on the upside, your call will be activated. If the breakout will be on the downside, your put will be activated, and you will take the advantage of the swing. Then there are the Bermuda options, quality adjusting option, look back option. Look back options are the options where you will get the benefit from the lowest price. Suppose it is not, if you are buying a look back option, that it is not that you are buying at the rate of say 10,350. If the Nifty has a made a low of 10,000, your profit will be calculated from the 10,000 only, look back option. But there you will be paying extra premium on it. Alright, then there are the Asian options and the basket options also, which we will talk in few next lessons in detail. This was a session for the college student. You may have liked it. Thank you for joining this session. Really appreciate your efforts and dedication towards the learning. Please let me know what I can do for you in the future. I am here for you anytime, and I will request to give the feedback or any question in the chat box. I enjoyed a lot by talking to you. Did you? Please give the feedback. That's mandatory for everyone. Okay, why the Nifty options trading at the interval of 50? It is like when we come closer, it starts trading at 50. When we are at a far month or at distance option, then it is at the interval of 100. Okay, please, all the students, if you have any doubt, you can ask. And at last, lots of love and blessings to all my students, and happy trading, happy investing to all the students. Wish you good luck, and we will keep organizing this kind of online seminars for the benefit for all the. This was just a base making organization session, very base making session. In next session, we will take one by one, we'll take the strategies and talk in detail, and that session will be Hindi as well as English. That will be combined Hindi English. All the Hindi students will also can join that. Okay, if you want to know about the current situation, one thing by sure I can tell you, the market will remain volatile in complete this 1 year. This is a year of volatility. This is a year of actions. Market may be in dual trend right now, but again after 1 month or 1.5 months, market will take one side direction, and for another some period, and we should be ready to take the benefit out of it. I think this is my view about it. Except 1.5 month, I think the complete one till December, the market will remain very much volatile, and we should be ready for it. And okay, any questions, or otherwise we'll wind up this session with a lots of love and blessings to all my students.